Okay, if I could sum up all of the ideal things that people are looking for in a man, they would all be categorized under this one trait that I think everybody should prioritize over everything else. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ariel. This is the Feeling My Feelings podcast, where I feel my feelings after years of dissociating from my feelings. I also identify as a highly sensitive person. I am introverted. I am really empathic. And y'all, I just got a lot of thoughts, and my friends and family usually go to me for advice. So I thought, let's put it in a podcast. Okay, anyway, so I've been thinking a lot about how to date more intentionally and what I would really be looking for, what traits I'm looking for in an actual long-term partner. And I think a lot of us end up getting into dating, finding the first person, that's right in front of us, and we don't really think about what would we actually like them to do. Or we start to find fault in them. We start to find that they aren't meeting our ideal. And I think a lot of what we want can fall under this specific trait. Safety. Yeah. I mean, when you think about it, of course, that is the thing that makes you, at your core, feel the best in specifically a relationship. We aren't always looking to feel safe when we're dating, but when we want to find a long-term partner, it goes hand in hand with the security of having a partnership. Okay, so let me just explain what safety generally looks like, especially when you are thinking of safety in a partnership with a man. So when a man is safe, he embodies a lot of really healthy masculine energy. Let me just sidebar here. You don't need to be a man to have masculine energy. Also, females have masculine energy. Males have feminine energy. We also have a balance of both. But according to, our gender balances, we often hold more masculine or feminine energy. And I think most of us who are attracted to men that identify with feminine energy, we are attracted to masculine energy. Okay, hopefully that all makes sense. But let me just point out that healthy expressions of masculinity are basically men that are really stable and make you feel safe. They are reliable. They do things that, they plan, they're strategic. They go off of a lot of good, healthy hard work. Basically, they're not super tied to overexerting ego or competition. And again, this works for everyone. Healthy expressions of feminine energy include being nurturing, include being someone that can receive. Today, we're talking mostly about masculine energy. But in the next episode, I'll talk all about embodying healthy feminine energy and what important traits you need to have as a healthy feminine in a relationship. And when we're talking about safety in relationships, I tend to put them in basically 3 categories of types of safety. That is physical, mental, and emotional safety. So here is what to look for in a partner under each of those categories. Okay, so what does physical safety look like in a relationship or with someone that you're just starting to date? So for physical safety, if you are just going on your first couple dates with a person, things to look out for that are great green flags are basically moments of chivalry. Because chivalry is not outdated, it's not dead. I mean, of course, your person doesn't have to be perfect and completely on it, it's up to you. However, knowing that they're making an effort to do these things from the get go makes a difference. So it's things like they open the door for you. If you're walking down like a sidewalk near a busy street, they decide to walk on the side that's closest to that busy street. They look out for your purse if you're walking through crowds. They guide you through those crowds by like holding your hand, putting their hand on your back, on your shoulder. Just basic physical chemistry and physical communication where they just seem protective. You know, if they put their arms around your shoulders, if they hug you like they pull you into a bear hug. I know I like that sort of thing. Again, it's really specific to you, but either way, physically, they should be showing you that without words, like, I want to keep you safe within the world. That's so attractive, isn't it? Also, you know, they take your hand, they walk with you, they want to show you affection when you're doing everyday things. Stuff like that really makes a difference. Also, what goes under physical safety is being someone who is physically providing and stable. So that can mean, you know, someone who makes the big bucks and buys you things and buys you material things, which isn't bad, always awesome. And some people, you know, that's a love language, giving gifts. But other things can be they show up for you, they plan things with you. This is one that I really think is important. I really think making plans, being on time, shows that they're really putting an effort, putting time into you, wanting to look into the future with you. Look for someone who feels like they have enough foundation and stability in their life to be able to spend time and energy with you. Okay, and now as we get more intimate, definitely look out for physical safety when you are, you know, being affectionate, when you are sleeping together. They should be able to sense or at least be able to communicate with you when you don't feel comfortable. So if you aren't someone who likes to hold hands a lot, if you aren't someone who likes a lot of PDA, if you're someone who doesn't like rougher sex, all of these things should be able to be well communicated to your partner, and they should be able to not only be okay with it if they want to be with you, but they should be able to know this about you moving forward if they want to continue dating you. They should know your boundaries, basically, and be really respectful of them. And I think sometimes keep in mind that there are people who may not agree or have the same sort of level of roughness or affection that you do, but you guys can always compromise despite having different styles. Okay? So, obviously, I think when it comes down to it, if you don't physically feel safe around someone, your body will tell you. So maybe you feel nervous or tense around somebody and you don't consciously know why. Maybe you are taking on their energy and you feel low energy around them. Maybe you just kind of sense that their energy is elsewhere, or maybe you're just not seeing it click, or maybe you're finding that you have to put a lot of physical energy and try to make yourself have more fun when you're around somebody. And you realize that, oh, okay, my body is overexerting itself. My body is not being taken care of. You deserve to have somebody who not only respects your boundaries, but is always looking out for how you can feel your best and live your best life. And that is physical safety. Y'all, mental safety. This is super important, and I'm so glad we're all talking about this more now. You don't want somebody who's constantly gaslighting you, who is manipulating you, who makes you second guess yourself all the time. And what's frustrating is this can be hard to look out for, especially if you are a fellow empath who is used to narcissistic types, who's used to attracting narcissistic types, who are charismatic, who knows how to make you feel good, who knows how to speak to you. I think all of these kind of go hand in hand, but you can still point out when someone is using manipulative wording, when they are trying to gaslight you. You can also feel it physically by how you're reacting, how confused you are, how anxious you get. So, you should be around somebody who, first of all, communicates with you. If you don't have communication, you don't have a relationship to go on. You're just kind of with the person and you're not really saying things to each other. You feel safer when someone does clearly state and can clearly state their wants and needs, how they feel, and their opinions. Like, if you're around somebody who's constantly holding back, who isn't speaking up, it can be hard to really trust them. And trust is such an important foundation for feeling safe and for being in a relationship. If you can't really communicate your needs, and if they can't, then you'll always be left kind of wondering. Also, this leaves you to being more anxious. You'll ruminate. You'll start to overthink. Did I do something wrong? You'll try to mind read. You'll try to guess what they're feeling and what they're thinking. And if someone isn't speaking more clearly, and if you're always having to guess, you're not feeling safe mentally. You're just letting your mind go wild with what is possible. So instead, look for somebody who, even if they're not super perfect and clear with their speech, even if it's still hard for them to figure out their wants and needs, even if they are a little bit shyer and more introverted like I am, it doesn't mean that, they aren't making an effort to communicate better. It's up to you to gauge how much you want to help them out with that, and also how much you think it's too much work. Okay? And again, this is kind of a spectrum, right? It's like you have the people that are too shy, that kind of need a little bit of relaxation, a little bit of your coaxing so that they can actually speak up. There are people who don't want to hear you talk, who want to talk at you. There are people who are healing from being either of the two extremes. So take it at your pace, be discerning, but just be aware of what kind of communication style do I want to have? Also mentally, how much mental energy do I actually want to be exerting in a relationship where I have to overthink, where I'm always guessing? I'm guessing you don't want to put that much energy mentally into it. If you're in a relationship with somebody, they should be good for your nervous system. They shouldn't be the reason why you need to rebalance it. Okay, emotional safety. This is super important and something that is probably often not thought of more specifically. But the thing is, when you're in a partnership or romantic relationship, you are intimate. You're probably opening up the most, being the most vulnerable in terms of feelings and intimate feelings than you have been with most of your other relationships. And because of that, it is super important. It is probably the most important that you can feel safe to share your feelings. You can feel safe to express your I just said express. You can, it is really important that you feel safe to express yourself emotionally with a partner that you could potentially be with for the rest of your life. If not, then you'll get stuck feeling like you have to bottle yourself up and feeling like the person that you're with most of the time doesn't seem to care about your feelings. Hi, I made a podcast all about feeling emotionally abandoned, so this is really important to me. In order to be emotionally safe, you have to make sure that a person is really kind of in tune with how you are, with what your triggers are, with what bothers you. And the thing is if you are feeling insecure, if you don't feel safe around someone and they take advantage of that, they are not making you feel emotionally secure or emotionally safe. Is that their job? Well, it's both your jobs. If you decide to be in a romantic relationship, it's both of your jobs to your partner. Firstly, your partner's job is to make sure that they are not treating you in a way that doesn't feel safe. And it is your job to make sure that you are not overly depending emotionally on your partner. Emotional safety looks like somebody who notices that you're feeling down, you're crying, you're insecure, and they want to be supportive of you. It also looks like someone who isn't overly dependent on their partner to soothe them through those situations, but knows that they are there for them. So, to be emotionally safe, both you and your partner need to have a healthy level of emotional stability, of basically emotional nervous system regulation. It's not going to be perfect. Everybody is still in a state of healing, but overall, it can be really easy to fall into a codependent situation. Just to close out, I think not a lot of people will prioritize safety as something they're looking for in a partner. But I will argue, I think this is one of the most important things you can look for, because if you want to be in a relationship, you need some sort of feeling of security. And that goes hand in hand with safety. And if you don't feel that, then you'll never feel secure in the relationship. Okay, some things to think about. It also helps to write down all the other traits that you want in a partner. And keep in mind that safety, the safest, healthiest version of all those things, probably is the best version of all those things. Okay, well, until next time, peace and love. Bye-bye.